We are on your side and answering the call, and today we're talking about something that I'm sure some of you got stuck in earlier this week. Driving in the dense fog, certainly out there, especially this time of year, as Brian was just telling us about. And we've seen those dense fog advisories, especially to start the week yesterday, and want to find out some ways that we all can stay safe when we're behind the wheel. So joining us live in studio right now is Corporal Chris Bordelon with Shreveport Police. Corporal Bordelon, always a pleasure to see you.
Thanks for having me, man. This is a really great topic that we get to discuss today.
Absolutely, and I also mentioned a lot of people starting the week off, driving to work on a Monday morning, you're already a little like, but that fog especially can be dangerous. So first things first, when you get in your car, you get moving, what's the first thing you should do?
Well, when we're doing this, we think of this. We don't often think of fog as inclement weather, but it really can be, because what we need to do is ensure that your lights are on, ensure that your windshield wipers are clean and are able to work, because fog does many things, but number one is it cuts down on our visibility. That's the most obvious, but number two, what it also does is typically with that fog, we have moisture on the roadway. So when you have a mixture of cutting down in visibility and moisture on the roadway, that can lead to frequent and abrupt stopping, which causes more accidents.
That's a great point too. And also talk about the visibility outside of the drivers in front of you, what could always be darting in from the outside of the road.
Exactly, and typically early mornings, we're in the school year, we want to do everything we can to ensure that our kids are getting to school safely, and that parents on the roadway getting to and from work. You know, we don't want to have any accidents that we can avoid. So we really want to encourage drivers to use their lights, use caution, and always stay off your cell phone. Distracted driving is the #1 thing that we've seen that contributes to accidents in our community.
That's a great point. Also too, Chris, I'd like to ask you about this. Anytime I'm out and about, if it's pouring down rain on the roadways, or even when it comes to dealing with fog, I've seen people using those, their hazards. Tell us when would be an appropriate time for drivers to use those lights.
Well, typically the hazards are reserved for when a vehicle is stopped on the side of the roadway. Driving with your hazards on, while some people think it helps, it actually is no more helpful than just driving with your lights on. So if you feel that you need to drive with your hazards on, it's probably a good time to pull over to the side of the roadway and then wait for that weather to pass and then continue traveling.
Yeah, I wanted to touch on that because all the weather events always see people, I don't know, I'm like, should I pass this person? Should I do? And just maintain, if you're not the ones with the hazard on, maintain what you're doing. And of course, reduce speed, as you were saying.
Absolutely, because with less visibility means that you're not able to account for things that are coming up the roadway. So slowing that speed down and making sure that you are not distracted, because just that moment looking down at your cell phone with that decreased visibility is all that it takes to cause an accident.
Split second.
That's it.
All righty. Well, we know it probably sounds obvious for some of you. Others, you may have learned something. I know I certainly did. But this guy knows a lot about ways to stay safe. And Corporal Bordelon, we certainly thank you for your time, buddy. Great job as always.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it, and stay safe.
Absolutely. And if you happen to have a question for Corporal Bordelon, or just this segment answering the call, you can email us to pressreleases@ktbs.com. Include a little portion of your question there in the subject headline, and watch every Tuesday. We want to get answers for you, especially in the name of safety. And we'll have much more to come here on KTBS 3 News right after this.